What if I told you that the quiet, hallowed halls of the most powerful banks in the United States are buzzing with a level of activity they haven't seen since the financial crisis of 2008, but this time, it's for a reason that will seem like it's pulled straight from a global economic thriller. This isn't a drill, and it's not speculation based on fringe blogs. We are seeing tangible, quantifiable shifts in how major financial institutions are handling their international asset portfolios, and a significant part of this recalibration is pointing towards a currency event that many of you have been patiently waiting for, the revaluation of the Iraqi dinar. The whispers have turned into conversations in boardrooms, and the contingency plans that were once labeled as highly theoretical are now being dusted off and updated with real-world figures and risk assessments. This is the reality we are stepping into as we move deeper into 2025, a year that is already shaping up to be a pivotal chapter in the long and complex story of global finance. The high alert status I'm talking about isn't about a looming collapse, it's about preparation for a seismic shift in value, a recalibration of a currency that has been artificially suppressed for years, and the US banking system, being the central nervous system of global capital, is the first to feel the tremors. Think of it this way: when a tsunami is coming, the water at the shore recedes long before the wave hits. What we are witnessing right now in the financial districts of New York, Charlotte, and San Francisco is that recession of water. Banks are not just passively observing the situation in Iraq and the ongoing discussions with the International Monetary Fund, they are actively stress-testing their systems for a scenario where the IQD is no longer a currency with a low value but one that commands a significant, tradable worth on the world stage. This involves colossal logistical and financial engineering. They are examining their liquidity ratios, assessing their exposure to Middle Eastern markets, and, most crucially, they are establishing new protocols for currency exchange that would be capable of handling a surge in demand for the dinar once its new rate is officially announced. This isn't something they would do for a minor fluctuation. This is the kind of preparation reserved for a paradigm-shifting event. The internal memos, which we have managed to correlate from multiple sources within the industry, point to a directive of operational readiness for a list of specific currencies, and the Iraqi dinar is consistently featured at the very top of that list. This readiness encompasses everything from updating digital forex trading platforms in real time to training frontline bank tellers on new procedures, ensuring a seamless transition when the moment arrives. The sheer scale of this behind-the-scenes activity is the most compelling evidence we have that we are not just chasing rumors. The banks are acting, and they are acting with a sense of urgency and purpose that confirms the intelligence we've been gathering for months. They are positioning themselves not to be caught off guard, and this strategic positioning alone tells us everything we need to know about the probability and the imminence of this event. They see the pieces moving on the global chessboard just as clearly as we do, but their response is measured in billions of dollars of preparatory investment, which is the ultimate signal that this is real. So, as you watch this video, understand that the narrative has shifted from if to when, and the most sophisticated financial institutions on the planet are already operating on that same assumption. This is why you need to pay very close attention to every piece of information that follows, because it connects these massive, silent moves within the US banking system directly to the decisions being made in Baghdad and Washington, D.C. Now, let's pivot directly to the source and unpack the monumental shifts happening within Iraq itself that are forcing this high-alert response from the international banking community. For decades, the story of the Iraqi dinar has been one of potential hampered by political instability, security concerns, and a reliance on a single, volatile resource, oil. But the landscape in 2025 is fundamentally and irrevocably different. The Iraqi government, in a series of bold and coordinated moves, has been working tirelessly to meet the stringent conditions set forth by the International Monetary Fund and the World Bank for a currency revaluation. This isn't just about raising the exchange rate, it's about integrating Iraq fully into the global economy as a stable and prosperous partner, and the progress on the ground is nothing short of revolutionary. The most critical piece of this puzzle is the dramatic reduction in Iraq's dollar dependency. Through a series of complex financial mechanisms and bilateral trade agreements, Iraq has successfully diversified its foreign currency reserves, strengthening the foundational support for the dinar. This means that when the RV occurs, it won't be a house of cards built on a single pillar, it will be a fortress built on a diversified and robust economic base. Furthermore, the long-awaited and much-discussed financial reforms, including the anti-money laundering and counter-terrorism financing frameworks, have been implemented with a level of rigor and transparency that has impressed even the most skeptical international observers. This has opened the door for major international banks to re-establish direct correspondent banking relationships with their Iraqi counterparts, a technical-sounding term that essentially means the legitimate, high-volume financial pipelines are now open and operational. This is a prerequisite for a successful revaluation, as it ensures that the new value of the dinar can be efficiently and securely traded across borders without being funneled through shadowy or unofficial channels. At the same time, we are seeing an unprecedented boom in non-oil sectors within Iraq. Agricultural output is soaring, technological startups are emerging in Baghdad and Erbil, and a construction boom is reshaping the skyline, all of which points to a rapidly diversifying GDP. This economic diversification is crucial because it proves to the world that Iraq's value isn't solely tethered to the price of a barrel of crude oil, it has multiple, thriving engines of growth that will sustain the new value of its currency. The government's budget, which for years was a document of survival, now reads as a blueprint for prosperity, with massive allocations for infrastructure, education, and healthcare, all funded by a more efficient and modernized tax collection system and revenue from these new industries. This creates a powerful, self-reinforcing economic cycle. A stronger currency makes imports cheaper, which fuels more development, which in turn strengthens the currency further. The international community is taking note. Major sovereign wealth funds and institutional investors from Europe and Asia are no longer just looking at Iraq, they are actively deploying capital, building factories, and establishing joint ventures. They see the same signals the US banks see, a nation on the cusp of an economic renaissance. The recent agreements with international power companies to provide stable, 24/7 electricity to the national grid is another tangible milestone, as reliable power is the lifeblood of any modern industrial economy. All of these threads, financial reform, economic diversification, international investment, and infrastructure modernization, are being woven together into a single, unbreakable rope that is pulling the Iraqi dinar towards its legitimate, market-based value. The RV is not a standalone event, it is the final, official acknowledgement of this new economic reality that Iraq has painstakingly built. So, where does this leave you, the individual investor, the currency holder, who has been navigating this complex and often confusing journey? With all these colossal forces aligning, the US banks on high alert and Iraq successfully executing its economic transformation, the final and most critical phase is about your personal readiness. The moment of revaluation will be a global financial event that will unfold with incredible speed across digital platforms, and your ability to act decisively and correctly will depend entirely on the plan you have in place right now. This isn't about fear, it's about strategy and empowerment. The first and most immediate step is to ensure your source for information is rock solid. In the coming days and weeks, the airwaves will be flooded with misinformation, deliberate false rates, and scams designed to create panic and confusion. You must have a trusted, verified source for the official announcement. This official rate will be declared by the Central Bank of Iraq and will be almost instantly reflected on major financial data terminals like Bloomberg and Reuters, and subsequently on the websites of major international banks. Do not trust a screenshot, a random email, or an unverified social media post. The noise will be deafening, but you must be prepared to listen only to the signal. Secondly, you need to have a clear, step-by-step action plan for your specific situation. This means knowing exactly which bank or currency exchange service you will use. Not all financial institutions will be prepared to handle dinar exchanges immediately. It is imperative that you have already identified a major, international bank with a dedicated forex desk and have established a relationship there. Call them now. Ask them about their policies for exchanging exotic currencies. Do not wait until the day of the RV to have this conversation. Furthermore, understand the difference between a simple cash exchange and the potential tax implications of a significant financial event. Consulting with a financial advisor or a tax professional who understands foreign currency gains is not a luxury, it is an absolute necessity. This will protect your windfall and ensure you are not caught off guard by your own success. This is also the time to manage your expectations and your emotions. The initial rate may be different from what you've heard in various forums, and the process of exchanging may involve certain logistical hurdles. Patience and a calm, disciplined approach will be your greatest assets. The RV is the starting gun, not the finish line. What you do with your resources after the exchange will define your financial future for generations. Think beyond the immediate exchange. Have a vision for your life after the RV. What dreams will you fund? What businesses will you start? What philanthropic endeavors will you support? This event is a tool for profound personal and global change. It's a key that can unlock a future of freedom and impact that you have always dreamed of. But that key only works if you are prepared to turn it in the lock. The groundwork has been laid by the banks and the Iraqi government. The final, and most important, piece of this entire puzzle is you. Your preparedness, your knowledge, and your calm resolve are what will transform this global economic event into your personal financial reality. The world is about to change. The question is, are you ready to change with it? If this information has been valuable to you, if this breakdown has brought clarity and confidence, then I need you to take one specific action right now. Do not just close this video and go about your day. Your financial future is at stake. Hit the subscribe button and ring the notification bell, because when the official announcement happens, you will be relying on timely, accurate, and calm guidance, and this channel will be your primary source for that crucial, life-changing information. We will be here, ready to guide you through the next steps with clarity and precision. Your journey doesn't end here, it's just beginning. Make sure you are subscribed so we can navigate the final, exciting chapter together.